A man declares himself to be Jesus and then beat up several monks. A German butcher is selling raccoon sausages to help the community. And post-election stress prompts an entire wave of rage room bookings. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast. I got 3 strange news segments from around the world. Let's go, let's go, let's go. A man declares that he's Jesus and beats up several monks in what they're calling a religious rampage. Not exactly the Jesus resurrection we were hoping for, but, I mean, we'll take whatever we can get right now, right? We got angry Jesus on the scene, apparently. He has a vendetta of some sort. Let's find out what happened and why. And if we can calm Jesus down and get him to perform the miracles that we need in life right now. A brutal series of attacks at a rural monastery in Spain over the weekend has left several people injured. Apparently, an assailant reportedly broke into the monastery and declared, quote, "I am Jesus Christ and I'm going to kill the monks." Strange. This attack took place at the Santo Espiritu del Monte Monastery in Valencia, Spain, where Jesus is said to have used a historical artifact, a stick and a glass bottle, to assault these monks. Despite initial concerns, emergency services have confirmed that nobody has died, thankfully. Although there have been no fatalities on record here, 7 total monks were injured by Jesus. One remains in critical condition in the hospital. That's terrible. All right, some more details of the attack. It's reported that he took the staff from the statue of St. Louis in the upper cloister and used it as a weapon during the assault. Not the staff of St. Louis! How dare you, in the upper cloister of all places. As for the 7 monks who were victims of Jesus' rage, their ages 56 to 95 years old, and they've been hospitalized with bruises, cuts, and trauma. The attacker has been confirmed as a 46-year-old Spanish national. He used the historical artifact along with sticks and glass bottles to beat the friars, beaten friars. Thankfully, they caught Jesus roaming the Valencia hills before he could do any more damage. He does have the power of 7 monks. He's some sort of superior god-man. This all sounds like a movie, doesn't it? From Paramount Pictures, Jesus, hard to kill. Jesus, above the crucifix. Crouching tiger, hidden savior. Jesus is back, and this time he won't turn the other cheek. Jesus, this time it's personal. Jesus Van Damme in Universal Savior Soldier. Love thy neighbor unless thy neighbor kills your dog. Jesus in Jesus Wick. A German butcher is selling raccoon sausages in a bid to combat the rodent plague. Are raccoons rodents? I thought they were vermin. To be honest, I don't even know the difference between a rodent and a vermin. A German butcher has formulated a bizarre solution to the country's growing raccoon problem. Did you know that Germany had a growing raccoon problem? I had no clue. Michael Reese, a sausage seller in a place called Saxony, he has seen sales of his raccoon-filled product soar in recent weeks because apparently Germans can't get enough of eating raccoon. I don't even know how raccoon tastes, but I can't imagine it's very good. I don't even know if you're supposed to eat that stuff, are you? I heard you're not supposed to, that they harbor parasites big time. Have you heard of the raccoon roundworm? They have their own roundworm named after them, so maybe not be eating raccoons. I guess you have to cook the crap out of them, though, in a pressure cooker. I heard they eat them in the U.S. and the southern states, but, you know, anything can happen in the southern states, and it wouldn't surprise me at all. Back to Mike Reese, the raccoon sausage man, the sausage king of raccoons. Reese is 46 years old. He first presented his raccoon sausage at the International Green Week, the world's largest farming and food fair. He said the feedback was so great with his raccoon sausage that he decided to include it in his range. Before that, he'd always just thrown the carcasses away, the raccoon carcasses. Where's he getting all these raccoon carcasses? He's just killing them wantonly. No, I'm sure he has a purpose for killing them. His store is called Wildever Sausage. Yes, welcome to my store. The Wowzer Sausage Sauce. It's the first store reportedly in Germany to sell raccoon sausages in what could prove to be an ingenious solution to the nation's worsening raccoon plague. It's a plague of raccoons in Germany. No, not the raccoons. They're invading. Reese's products include a raccoon breakfast sausage, a liver sausage, and even a soup made from the rodent's bones. Now they're calling them did they call them a rodent up top? Yeah, they called it a rodent up top. Is it a rodent? I should Google this. Oh, it says a raccoon is not a rodent, as I surmised. Raccoons are mammals in the order Carnivora, while rodents are in a different order. Raccoons have distinctive teeth and 5 toes on each paw, which are different from rodents. Okay, so now you know they're not rodents, although this article continues to call them rodents for some strange reason. Probably not written by a scientist. Is this AI? This is the work of AI. All right, back to the dishes that Mike offers. The soup from the rodent's bones, I'm going to pass on. I would try the breakfast sausage, I would. I do like sausage, and, even if the meat doesn't taste very good, like in a sausage format, you can kind of dress it up a bit. Raccoon has a delicate taste, according to Mike. It's difficult to describe, but if you eat, as he says, one of my regular bratwursts and then a raccoon sausage, you will know the difference. He says he's looked into thousands of faces at his food stand, and everybody looks happy. Germany is facing an ever-growing raccoon plague, unfortunately. Mike told the media he had personally culled 200 of the animals in his hunting district this year alone. So he's just culling them on his own. And now he's found a use for them. And if people are eating them, great. I mean, as long as it's all safe, man. He sounds like a professional, knows what he's doing. He cooks them thoroughly, so you're not going to get the raccoon worm in your brain or wherever the worms like to reside. Mike says the raccoon issue is very problematic, and the numbers need to be reduced because these raccoons are threatening amphibians, birds, and bat populations. He says, so you might as well process them. With the raccoon population soaring by 2 million in recent years, hunters have been unable to keep up. Mike says, we're not getting to grips with this species, and our indigenous wildlife is suffering immensely from them. Mike seems to be capitalizing on this, though, in some manner. He's selling his raccoon sausages. I'm all for it. That seems to be one solution of many, and you need solutions when you encounter, issues that you just can't seem to keep up with. I stated earlier that I would try the raccoon sausages. I asked my listeners, would you guys be willing to try raccoon sausage? Have you ate raccoon? Does any of you live in, like, Georgia or something, and you're like, oh, yeah, I've eaten raccoon kebabs at some point in my life? I'd like to know what your experience has been. A little raccoon burrito. Get a little raccoon burrito. Oh, hey, Elvis, what would you like for lunch? Oh, I like a raccoon burrito.
Let's rock.
In order to deal with the fallout of the recent U.S. presidential election, many people are booking what are called rage rooms. Are you guys familiar with rage rooms? It's where you can pay a little bit of a fee to go. It might be a lot of a fee. I'm not sure. And then you go into a room and you get to bash things and break things, usually with a baseball bat or a golf club. Although I'm sure using your forehead isn't out of the question as long as you sign a release form. This article says, the day after Donald Trump was elected president in 2016, Amanda got stress-induced shingles. Oh, poor Amanda. The day after he was elected in 2024, Amanda, instead of getting shingles, she took a sledgehammer to an empty Corona bottle that had refused to shatter when she hurled it at a wall. She laughed, an evil cackle like a Disney villain. This was all thanks to Amanda's friend Ariel, who's a nurse, who was also disparaged after seeing the results of the election come out, and she called Amanda and said, I want to break stuff. Do you want to break stuff? Give me something to break! And they went and broke stuff. The two despondent girls rented a rage room in Fitchburg, Massachusetts called Let's Rage. This is a place where friends seeking catharsis can pay a fee to safely smash glass, ceramics, and appliances. It says such businesses all across New England said that they have seen an increase in bookings in their rage rooms since Trump's victory was finalized Wednesday morning, as progressives have sought outlets for their increasing frustration over the election results. They interviewed the owner of Let's Rage. His name's Brian. He says, in 4 hours on Wednesday morning, we received 14 bookings. That's about double the typical number on a busy day. 13 more than the same time period last week, in fact. Our customer specifically requested to demolish a likeness of the president-elect's, quote, stupid, evil face, so we had to provide that for him. To capitalize on this moment, Brian also posted on the homepage of the website for Let's Rage the words, need to vent about the election? Well, book our rage room right here. That's pretty ingenious of this guy, capitalizing on the moment, providing an outlet for people that are just feeling the rage. You know, these rage rooms, I suppose they could be helpful. I mean, I guess it's better than turning the Capitol building into a giant rage room, right? You can stay out of prison this way. Take note, crazy people. You can stay out of prison by renting the rage room and not trespassing on government property. Although, I don't know, maybe it feels better to take a crap on someone's desk dressed up like a Viking. Someone who doesn't share the same ideology as you. Maybe that feels better. I don't know. I've never dressed up like a yak and taken a crap on a politician's desk. Now, Brian says that customers commonly book cathartic sessions of breaking bottles and smashing plates to cope with their personal troubles, including cheating boyfriends and family tragedies. Some have even been referred by their therapists. No, I doubt that they've been referred by their therapists. This is not something a therapist would recommend whatsoever. A therapist would recommend, you know what? More therapy, because that's their gig. I'd imagine therapists would say that this is an unhealthy way to process your emotions. But then again, you know what they say about therapy. A third do better, a third get worse, a third stay the same. So, alternatives to therapy, I'm okay with too, because sometimes just talking really isn't going to cut it. You're probably wondering, as I am, what does it cost to have a rage room session? Well, at Let's Rage in Fitchburg, Mass., you can rent the Let's Smash package for $55 a person. Each person gets to fill their crates with bottles, mugs, plates, and knickknacks off the business's shelves and choose one large item to smash as well. Actually, you can bring your own smashables and then smash for $35. There's also a deluxe package for $75 per person. Doesn't say what you get with that. You know, if you can't afford one of these rage room packages, you can also just walk out into a swamp and just start punching a soft, soggy patch of earth for a few hours. That might make you feel better as well. Doesn't cost a damn thing. Just need to take a shower afterward. Also, watch out for the crocs and pythons. It says here, according to the Let's Rage website, they supply the weapons, such as sledgehammers, crowbars, and other, quote, weapons of smash destruction per the website. I wonder if they offer the St. Louis staff that our buddy Jesus was using to smash the monks with. Jesus could have used this rage room instead of working on the monks, those friars at the monastery. Just send him to the rage room. He can get out his frustrations. What would Jesus do? Jesus would take a sledgehammer to a washing machine. Hello, my fellow weirdos. Thank you for spending some time with your buddy Jonesy in the Weird AF News podcast. I hope you enjoyed the stories that I put out today. And I want to thank everybody who sends me articles. You can always send me articles to my email. It's a Gmail. It's funnyjones@gmail. Also on Instagram @funnyjones. You can send me articles in my DMs. It's called sliding into one's DMs. Yes, it's a very fun activity. I highly recommend it. What a thrill. What a thrill. You never even know if they're going to respond or even read it. It's a nice time for everyone involved. Anyways, if you would like to support the show, I have a website. It's weirdafnews.com. You know what you can do there? You can join the Patreon. What do you get from the Patreon? You're probably wondering. Is there any extra content? Anything extra related to Weird AF News, the podcast I so adore? I'm glad you asked because, yes, you can get a bonus episode that I released today on the Patreon. I recorded a bonus episode over the weekend. It's over an hour long. It's with my buddy Adam, who runs the podcast That Was Wild, available on all podcast players, FYI, That Was Wild podcast. He also covers weird stories occasionally on his show, so he was a perfect person to do a duet bonus episode with. So the two of us did some stories. I call them B-sides. They're the stories over the past couple months that I saved with the intentions of possibly doing them on the podcast, but they didn't make the cut. So I saved them in a bin. I saved them, and I dove right in and do them. They're still very weird and very good, and Adam and I have a nice rapport, so you'll enjoy that bonus episode. Those of you who are already members of the Patreon, please give that a listen. You're going to love it. It's very, very good, and you get to hear me doing weird news with a partner in crime, which is just kind of rare, you know. It's kind of neat, you know, because I always do this solo, so people have often asked me, why don't you have a co-host? Because I could have a co-host if I did it once a week or once a month, but getting someone to commit to a 5-day-a-week situation is for little to no money. Is just not an easy thing to do. So I'm a crazy person to do this 5 days a week. I realize I'm out of my mind, and I can't expect other people to be like that. So it's going to be solo unless I'm doing a bonus episode. Anyways, if you'd like to hear that, join the Patreon. It's patreon.com/weirdafnews, or go to weirdafnews.com and click on the Patreon banner. And good luck with your life, man.